Walk around the compound, see some tigers, hear some squeaks, and hopefully some peeps. I don't know how much of that yawn I caught, but I hit the record button right as she was yawning. Yeah, she's having a good little yawn. Good little yawn, little miss. Oh, another one. Doesn't matter. Caught that one. There you go. There we go. That's the washer. Ton. Tawny. Tawny. What you doing, baby? Wow. 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 Hi. He's like, oh, you were here. I didn't hear you. Yes, you did. Yes, you did. You heard me. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, pretty girl. Hi, baby. How are you? Yeah. A good-looking lady. Oh. Yeah. We're gonna come and take care of your enclosure in just a little bit. Just a little bit. It's clean day. It's clean day. Oh, gotta put on my windscreen, so just hold on. Sorry, it might sound a little bit weird and fabricy for a little bit. There we go. Now we're better. Hello, all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek. Welcome to another super duper fantastic episode of the Walk Around the Compound webcast. Not really sure where Millie and Wally are. I'm not sure where anyone is. I can tell you right now, it's a nice day. It's beautiful. It's a beautiful day. Oh, the temperatures, they've just been going up and down and up and down. There's no consistency, no rhyme, no reason. It just does what it do. Hey, bud. Hopefully I'm not going to get too much grass around the compound. Oh, here we go. Hi. Here, baby. It's like I'm conflicted. I want to be kill play, but he sees me. He's right there, and he sees me. See people. Wah. Wah. Hi, bud. You got some weird thing kind of going with your hair right now. It's kind of back, and I don't know. That top part is, I don't like it. It's the wind. It's the wind. Look at the windswept look. Don't judge. Whisper Moose. Whisper Moose. Hi, bud. Oh my gosh. Heart eyes, heart eyes. Heart eye emojis. What I get whenever I get to be around you, bud. Whenever I get around Kanapali, my eyes turn into those hearts. Like you see, my skin turns yellow, my face turns into a perfect circle. My eyes turn into hearts. That's what happens. Oh. Well, we are in the PrideStrong WeekLong, first couple days down. Yeah. And people have been getting out there. They've been working. And we've got our blogs that have been going up, talking more. We've got some really great information, cheat sheets about how to be involved and how to choose organizations and stuff like that. So, yeah, definitely. Hi, Sass. 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 There she goes. So yeah, super excited. Getting people participating in this second PrideStrong week long. Hi, baby. You have any squeaks for us? Oh, good. Good, good, good. Yeah. But PrideStrong WeekLong is gonna, what it does, I mean, of course, it measures collective impact. People who are working for animal-related causes, charities, organizations. And today is a clean day, so I'm gonna be here, and I am definitely going to be adding information. Yes! I'm gonna be adding information. So for every enclosure that I go into, I'm gonna be sitting there thinking, okay, you know, I'm probably going to be like making notes on my phone. I was in this enclosure and that enclosure and that enclosure. And then I'm going to get like rough estimates for like the size. We're not looking for exact. We're not looking for things down to the millimeter or the neutrons or the microns. I'm going to get a rough idea for the general size and scope of the area that I was in and cleaning and working with. And then also I'm going to get a general idea for the amount of weight, because we're going to be picking up a lot of poop. And we're going to be picking up different animal parts, bones and whatnot. That stuff has weight to it. So I'm going to kind of create just like a little kind of like, okay, and at the end of the day, I'm just going to sit down with a piece of paper. I'm going to kind of add up all my numbers. Like I said, rough estimates. I'm going to add up my numbers, and then I'm going to input them into the survey, which can be found at the website. Well, actually, the Facebook page, facebook.com/TruePrideStrong. So, yeah, that's going to be one of the different things. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's like, this is my wood. This my wood. You see my wood? This my wood. This my wood right here. Yano. Maum. We're gonna count your moves. Yeah, we're gonna count your. Jeez. Oh my gosh. Wow. That was a lot. That was a lot of moo. I was thinking like, well, maybe we got to count your moves for the PrideStrong WeekLong, but I don't know how much. Like if that's like, yes, it's a quantifiable metric. We can sit there and say like, yes, there's this many moves and put that into like a survey, but I'm not exactly sure like how that's gonna like benefit the organization. Well, you know what? I'll bet you if someone really wanted to spend the time, they could actually like go through all of the different social media posts with all of Solano's moves, and then they could like actually calculate, okay, well, his moves brought this many likes and shares, and then you could like have like a quantifiable maybe metric of visibility, of extra visibility that his moves, his ambassador moves, like the amount of visibility that Solano has personally brought to the facility. That's, you know, in a weird way, like you could say, you know, and I'm not even like kind of joking, because of course you can kind of sit there and be like, oh, your moves, you know, Solano for president, and your moves will save the day, and 2017 is going to be full of Solano moves. I mean, there's, of course, you do silly stuff like that just for the content. But when I think about it, like how much have his moves or Cassie's squeaks actually benefited? Like you could probably translate that into a legit dollars and cents number. I mean, if you were really crazy and obsessed about the whole thing, like, yeah. Solano, your moves are, you know, they are worth some cash. And he's just like, and he doesn't know. He's not aware of it. He doesn't care. He just does it. He's like, my moves, I just give them. I love to move, therefore I move. Oh, look at you. A lot of Solano in this webcast. I'm sure that there's a lot of people who are like, that is fine by me. That is fine by me. Oh, Rachel. Front part of the baby is good to enter. Sorry. she asked me to check the their enclosure. So I did. I checked it. I done checked it. Made sure that it's good for working folks, because the four, they have access to this enclosure, middle section, and then the other enclosure up over there. So we restricted their access to the enclosure over there, and then we brought them all into here. Now Rachel did that. So then me, as another trained personnel, another trained observer, I will go through then and I will double check to make sure that Rachel did the job well. And it's like a thing, like, you know, she's going to do it every single time. She's going to do it well because that's her job. Her job is to get it right. But we have that layer of redundancy always. Trust but verify. Trust but verify. Always. You always make sure that any area that people are going to be entering into is not an area that cats have access to. Always. And you gotta treat that part of the job with almost like a degree of paranoia. I mean, you really do. I've talked about this in the past. I've talked about a lot of things ad nauseum, but of course, there's new visitors and there's new people, so I guess it bears repeating. But yeah, you gotta be so careful when you're working with these animals. And we actually have some guests here, some very nice people from up in Connecticut, from Connecticut. There's some C's and T's. There's too many C's and T's in that state's name. Connecticut. But yeah, was talking to some the very nice people, and there's different. There are different stages in the lifespan or the development of a facility worker, an employee, a volunteer. There are different stages that people go through as far as how they look at the cats and how they approach the cats and how safety conscious they are. And when someone first arrives at the facility and first starts working with these animals, they're very careful and they're very conscious, and they look like, oh my gosh, lions and tigers, and I'm around them. These are dangerous animals and they can do dangerous things. And then after they gain a bit of experience, after they familiarize themselves with the facility or with the idea or the concept of working with these animals. Hold on. You can't see me. You cannot see us. We are tigers that are very good at stealth. Therefore, you don't know that we're here, do you? So, folks will get themselves very acclimated or very accustomed to just the idea of working with tigers, and especially at a place like this, at a place like Care, where our animals are very well adjusted, they're very socialized, and they're very sweet. They're very, very sweet. I know, you are so sweet. You're very sweet. You're very sweet, Naya. Very sweet. I think Dr. Bill's going to be coming today to actually give everyone a checkup. So yeah, I mean, there's going to be some different things because there's a period of quarantine that we've had them in where we've got to make sure that we're putting certain booties on our shoes and bleaching ourselves, the bottoms of our feet, and we're not mixing their food with other cats' food, and we're making sure that if they have any sort of you never know if they're carrying any sort of bacteria or any sort of pathogens from wherever they may have been before, and that's just common protocol when you're bringing in new animals. So it is getting close to the end of that point, and I think that we'll be able to kind of get them out of that quarantine status. So yeah, good times. But people will get adjusted or accustomed to the idea of working with these animals, and then they become a little bit more cavalier. They become a little bit more relaxed, a little bit more comfortable. You might even say that they become, maybe unguarded. Because it's like, they're around these animals, like these guys, and they're just like, oh my gosh, they're snuffly and they're cute. And like, I've always thought of these animals as like, oh my gosh, there's never going to be a problem. I've always thought of them as like, of course, they're tigers, they're lions, they're dangerous. I gotta be on my guard. But then you get around them, and then it's just like, oh well, it's not quite that bad. And then you get yourself a little bit soft. You get a little bit taken in by the snuffles and the sweetness. I also talk about the idea where it's like that 1% versus the 99%. And no, I'm not talking about like, occupy Care Street, bro. The 1% of the tiger has 99% of all the proteins, bruh. No, not like that. I'm talking about it's just a concept that I just kind of have thought of, where there's that 99% of the time the cats are going to be like really happy and just, serene and peaceful and docile and sweet. And they're going to give you the illusion that that's how they are all the time. That's how they are 100% of the time. And a lot of times when you have people like volunteers, especially people who they're not going to be here every single day, or the amount of hours that they apply towards working with these animals is going to be limited as opposed to someone who works here, interns are here every single day. So they may not, just by virtue of them not being in proximity to the animals, they may not see moments of their 1%-ness where they can be aggressive and they can be capable of just really terrible things, where they can strongly have desire. I mean, and I'm not talking about kill play, I'm talking about kill. There's a difference between kill play and kill. Like when kill play is like, haha, like we're having fun, but I kind of want to kill you. Tee-hee. Like you can sometimes kind of talk a cat out. You can kind of calm them down and be like, you can maybe even scold them and just be like, hey, and they're like, all right, I'll stop. But kill, there's no talking a cat out of that. And here's the thing, like sometimes people, and like I hear this, people like, oh well, I've seen things, I've seen, like examples of that 1%, and I'm like, honestly, true examples of 1% are ones that really shake you. They shake you to your core. And only folks who have, a lot of times it's usually folks who've been just working here for a long time, they've actually seen those kind of 1% kind of moments. There's moments where it's like, these animals are truly capable. And again, I'm not talking like, oh my gosh, they pulled a body from one end. It was like a 400-pound horse body. They pulled it from one side of the enclosure to the other. Yeah, that's tremendously impressive, but I wouldn't even call that a 1% moment. They were roughhousing really hard, and then they started roaring at each other. Like, I wouldn't even call that a 1%. I'm talking, there's times, like, literally just, like, I kind of feel like I have to kind of crap my pants because, and my heart is pumping, and there's some really, like, there's moments that I've had with these animals where I've reverted back to, a completely visceral, instinctual, like I think I'm gonna die kind of state. And it's not even because I was truly in like a situation of danger, but it's because they maybe I was interacting with a cat like close to the fence, and then they turned and they did something, and it was like right, and it was like I let my guard down, and then they lunged and they jumped and they did something, and yeah, I guess I've even brought back to that moment. I've talked about the moment with Conopoli. And I've had other moments that were similar to that, but that was like the first one. That moment with Conopoli where I leaned up against the fence, and it was like I was never truly like in danger of like getting killed, but I was up against the fence and I was giving him affection, and he was giving affection back. He was snuffling, and he was having a good time, and he was being very sweet. And I don't know what happened. Something clicked in his head. I think I might have mushed his peat, and then he went from I'm giving you smooches through the fence, and I really like you being here I want to kill you. And he lunged, and it was so fast, and he lunged at the fence, and he sent me flying back, and he roared. Now, one thing you have to realize, lions and tigers, when they roar, like human ears can hear it like miles away. If conditions are right, 2, 3, maybe even a little bit more miles away, you can hear them roaring. They make all sorts of different noises, all sorts of different vocalizations, and he let out like an angry, bellowing, hear it from 3 miles away roar, like this far away, like from my face. I mean, it's like, it was so loud that you can feel the vibrations. You can, I could literally feel my bones vibrating. That puts you on in a place of helplessness. And it was all happened so fast because he lunged at the fence and he sent me flying back many feet. So it's like in an instant you feel this tremendous power that you have not, because again, and I've talked about this in the past, Heidi told me the cats are really strong. The cats are really powerful. The cats are really dangerous. Watch out. And then I hear that and I'm just like, okay, I get it. I would see them do things like, oh yeah, they pull that body from one side of the enclosure to the other. And I'm like, oh, the cats are really strong. The cats are really powerful. They're impressive animals. Watch out. But that moment with Conopoli was the first time I felt it. And then that's when I knew. There's a difference between understanding something as a concept and really, really getting it. That was the first time I got it. That was the first time I really, really got it. And it changed me. It changed the way I approach these animals forever. I mean, it's just understanding, there's nothing. You think, and even people might comment oh, I would be so respectful. It's and it's you think that, but then it's again, because this goes back to what we were talking about before. I was going through a period where I had been around these animals, and I wouldn't say that I was cavalier, but it's I didn't internalize it probably as much as I should have, what these guys truly were capable of. And then I had to see and experience a few different things before it shifts. So it's you start off working with the cats tremendously, just lockstep, you're in place, you're taking things so seriously, and then you kind of relax a little bit and you're yeah, tiger's cool, but maybe you don't, and then it's you start to really truly internalize it, and then you start to really feel. So that's what I meant before about the different phases of maybe an employee or a volunteer's development when you're working with these animals. And there was a couple different things that happened, of course, that got me back into that third phase. But a very big one that happened was that interaction, that experience with Conopoli. Man, I never had experienced anything in my life like that. Never. I mean, I've been in car accidents. I've played football. I've done, high intensity, high impact type stuff, and that was one of those, again, I have never felt so helpless, so fragile, knowing that me as a human being, as on a species level, I am nothing compared to these animals. Because even and this is it's a young guy thing, it's a stupid guy thing, where it's if maybe something happened with one of the cats, and I had to I had to defend myself if something happened, if maybe terrorist ninjas got in and let all the cats out, and I had to go get them back, and then one of them tried to test me, I might be able to kind of bop it in the nose and be hey you, but then it's just after that experience with Conopoli, it's you realize there's none of that. There's none of that. They possess they possess. It's when I was going through meteorology school, I had a teacher, that was talking about the different temperatures of the different, like the chromosphere and the photosphere, you know, of the sun, like the surface of the sun, the different layers and like how the different temperatures and like, well, and he's like a southern guy and he's like, okay, you know, the chromosphere is going to be about 30,000 degrees and the photosphere is going to be about 15,000 degrees. But here's the thing that you got to understand. None of that matters to you because they're tremendously different values as far as temperature is concerned, but both of those values, unimaginable. Can you imagine the difference between 15,000 degrees and 30,000 degrees? No, you can't. All you got to know is that it is unimaginably hot. It's like, yeah, there you go. So these animals, tigers and lions, I mean, they're unimaginably strong. I mean, it's so, until you actually experience it. It's so, I mean, I'm telling you right now, you could try to imagine what it's like, but until you actually feel it, oh, nothing. It impacts you. It impacts you. It is do you know the difference between do you think that your human skin can tell the difference between the chromosphere and the photosphere? No, you would be burnt to a crisp on both. They are both unimaginably hot. That's exactly, and I still remember this to this day. It was hilarious how he was portraying that information. I might not have the actual degrees correct, so sure, go and Google and be like, actually, Derek, the chromosphere is about 27,000 degrees centigrade, and then the photosphere is approximately 18,000 degrees, and it's like, fine. It's fine, that's whatever. So, that's, yeah. I thought you were a professional. I thought you were an expert, Derek. I'm like, I guess not. All right, folks. I gotta get that because Rachel's just like, ugh, I thought you were gonna help. You're right, Rachel. You're right. I gotta go help. I gotta go take care of things. Play Count the Kitties. That's my favorite game, by the way. Count the Kitties. Anyway, PrideStrong WeekLong. Check out the Facebook page at True PrideStrong for more information. We're looking for people. If you're already out there volunteering, please, please, please share with us your volunteer stories. Take a lot of pictures. We want to see what you guys are up to, what it is that you're doing. So you can send them, you can message them to the True PrideStrong Facebook page, or you can also email the truepridestrong@gmail.com website. You can send all of that information, stories, pictures. We'd love to hear from you. So anyway, happy volunteering. Thanks for watching. Talk to you folks later. Okay, bye-bye.